It's basically a business letter. If you've ever written a letter to apply to a job, it's not that much different in terms of form. You need a single page, no more than a page. If you can't boil your book down to a page by now, you need to go back to the drawing board. That's what I tell my students, right? Like, if you can't state your thesis in a sentence, you're not there yet. If you can't boil your query down to a page, you're not there. The first paragraph states, hi, I'm looking for representation, gives you a hook. The second, and if you need a third paragraph, are the brief synopsis. And with this, the synopsis is back, what's going to make a reader read, right? What is it about the relationship between the two that might not work out that's going to be interesting? I love research. Love research, and we'll research something to death. So the ones that I like the best are these. Query Tracker. This is a website, if you don't know, that you can actually go in and use it to track your queries. It has the database of the different agents, all their information. You can click on like what day you sent your query. You can get it's a free subscription to it, and it'll track it. I didn't actually use it to track it. What I used it to do was to spy on agents. Because like 90% of the agents are going to have a no response is a no, but that could be no response in 2 days is a no, or no response in 8 weeks is a no. And I'm the kind of person that I like to just know. Even if it's bad news, I just want to know so I can click you off my list and I don't have to worry about you anymore. So what I would do is I would go on every time I queried an agent, and I did all the other research stuff, I would go and look at the comments, and I would figure out how long it typically took people from the time they sent something in to the time they got a ask for more pages or ask for a full. And if it looked like an agent was the kind that turned around really fast on requests, then I'd mark that down. Because I know if I didn't get anything in a week or two, I could probably just forget that. Query Shark, if you've not been to the Query Shark blog, you need to go to the Query Shark blog. It's Janet Reed, who's a literary agent, has been for a while now taking queries, and she just tears them into delightfully little snarky bits over, I mean, she's not at all kind, but funny to read. Other people go. Publishers Marketplace, you really need this. If you're serious enough to query, you're serious enough to pay $20 a month and get the information you need to query. Do this. I have some hints and tips that I'll go into more when I get to those letters. Number one, don't query until you're ready to let it go, right? If you're still tweaking your writing, if you're still working on it, you're not ready to query. If you're in the, oh my gosh, I love this so much, if somebody doesn't publish it, I'm going to just totally die phase, you're not ready to query yet. Because if you really think that, you're not seeing your book clearly at all. Make friends with a spreadsheet. I called mine the reject file. Right, that's what it said on my desktop, the reject file. But it was my spreadsheet, and the agent, the agency, whether that agency allows you to submit to a different agent, if one rejects you, some do and some don't. This is where Google comes in. Then I had a column for what I found out on Query Tracker, right, like how many weeks I should expect. And then I had a when to close. So if I didn't hear from them by a certain time, then I would just know it was a reject. So,
and what did you call it?
I called it the reject file. Okay, sell your talent, not your book, right? So you have a book you want to sell, right? No, that's not what you're doing. You're trying to get an agent because you want a career, not because you want to sell one book. So before you get wrapped up into writing a query that details everything brilliant about this one book, back yourself up and think about what your strengths are as a writer, right? If you write young adult, your query's got to sound like you write young adult. It has to show that you have an ability to write grammatically. It has to be intriguing and show you have that kind of a voice that works for young adult. It has to be engaging in such a way that it's not just your story you're selling, it's you as a writer, it's your talent. So make sure that your query shows that in the voice that you use in the query and how you lay out your story. Which goes with my next point, put away the crazy. Just put it away. You don't need it, right? You don't. If you want to be represented by a professional, you have to act like one. But you need to put away the ego, the strange fonts, the ridiculous claims about your book's brilliance, your impulse to call and just check up on your query, the glitter, the chocolate bribes, threats, and any other crazy impulse you have. You don't want to stand out.
No glitter?
I've actually seen stuff where people are like, I got glitter. And I'm like, why would that's awful in a book.
Open it up. They hate opening it up and then stuff fall out, you know.
One of the agents tells a horror story of opening one up and black plastic spiders. It was a horror story. And plastic spiders burst out. This agent was deathly afraid of spiders.
Oh. So you have the perfect query. Your pages are polished to a gleaming shine and you're ready. Great, now sit on it for a week. Seriously. Don't send it out. Close that file. Don't look at it for an entire week. Come back to it. If you still like it, fine, send it. If you change anything, sit on it again. Because once it's out, you cannot call it back. Right? It's gone. And once an agent says no, they're off your list. Gone. Which brings me to my next point. Embrace rejection. Revel in it. Right? Did you see where I labeled? It was the reject file. You can look on my desktop. That is what my query list was called. Because the chances of your very first book going with your very first agent, who will then sell it to your very first house, are slim to what have you been smoking? Right? It's not going to happen. So what I figured was, if an agent wasn't going to take it, I should not have it published with my name on it. That's what I thought. That was my criteria. Like, if I couldn't get one of these kind of agents to take it, that means I'm not ready yet. I ain't ready.
When I have used queries that I thought worked, because I was getting good feedback, when I was mentioning people, what I was doing is sometimes I would have a paragraph at the beginning that said, this is what it is, this is how long it is, and it's done. I'm looking for representation, and I'm querying you because you represent so and so and so and so. And I think in that case, you're using those names, but they're giving the agent information for not only this is the kind of book it is, but also I actually researched you. I know who you represent, and this is